Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a 2-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.
Hey, good morning, my friends. We've got Brady Wilson waiting here in the studio this morning. We're going to be taking a trip, to Texas with a little bit of a detour to Africa. Hey, Mr. Brady Wilson, how are you, young man?
Mr. Jim, good to hear your voice this morning. I am doing great now this morning. I am currently sitting in the city that invented Dr. Pepper, but instead of being at the Dr. Pepper Bottling Works building, I have been at the Waco, Texas Providence Hospital with a family member of mine since 11:30 Thursday night, I guess you could say.
Oh, gosh, Brady,
Yeah.
is everything okay?
Everything is going to be okay. This is my dad's dad.
Okay.
He's had some heart issues before, and he had a heart attack, another one type deal. And he was waiting on a procedure that was going to take place in January anyway, but turns out it's two different issues, and so they can't move forward on the other one just yet till this one heals up now. That makes sense.
It does. Brady, God bless our. You know, I always appreciate people taking time from their schedule to do this, but this is extraordinary. And if at any time you got to leave, God bless, please
Gotcha.
do.
Well, I'm good, I believe. Me and my dad and his brother were switching off night shift, day shift, and right now I'm on day shift, and I'll join back over there. But I'm in the parking lot, so I'm not that far away.
Okay.
And we've been staying in a hotel, switching off too, which is right next door. So we're doing okay. It's just he's doing better. He had a little heart stent procedure on Friday afternoon, and it went really well. He's just a little ruthless now. He's no longer taking the IV medication, so he's active.
Good.
Well, he's trying to escape the hospital.
Man of my own heart. I love it.
Yeah. It's something about hard-headed ranchers. I mean,
that's how we get to be old. We got to be hard-headed and tough.
Yeah.
That's God. Thank you. I'm doubly appreciative of you taking time to do this morning.
It's all good. I found a backup plan last night just in case. So
thank you.
I didn't call in the backup plan, thankfully.
Okay. Well, Brady, you know, you're a pretty ambitious ag student, and God, you're so deeply involved. You are the face of the new generation of Route 66, especially in Texas, and you have really been deeply involved.
Thank you. You know, it was one of those deals where I was spending my time and I guess also my money taking these courses at West Texas A&M University, which is only about 13 miles from Route 66 in Amarillo. And I was learning all these skills, and I'm like, I'm learning a good bit in the classroom, but I need to go learn more and apply these somewhere else. And if it was that second semester towards the end of it, I'm like, I need to go find some organization or some place or some people that could maybe use my efforts in my learning skills a little bit better, like social media management and content, or graphic design, poster design, website help, things like that. And so I just felt the need to go put it to use. And I found an interest. I've always loved history. I've always loved travel. I knew of Route 66 a little bit in my life, mainly because of the Cars movie. I mean, I have seen that probably 6,600,000 times. Big fan of Michael Wallace, always have been, and always will be. So I've never been one to sit still either. And this Route 66 was a good balance to apply. I mean, business owners like the Midpoint Cafe or the Devil's Rope Museum, they don't have the necessary resources to keep up with stuff like Facebook pages. And that's something that I have done for many years now and keep learning every day. And I felt that's some area where I could grow.
Well, your contributions have been mighty. I'll tell you, the movie Cars has probably, it's interesting how every generation there's something that ignites a passion for Route 66. We had the Bunyan Derby, 1932. There was the promotion of Route 66 was the road to the Olympics. And then we had the Grapes of Wrath, the song in the 1940s and early 50s, the TV show, the Lucille Ball program, the series. They did a 4 or 5 part series. And the movie Cars brought a whole new generation into this. And it's and then of course Michael Wallace's work in 1990 really was a huge part of adding jet fuel to the Route 66 Renaissance.
And putting the fire on that fuel too. That was a big thing. So it's I've been very fortunate, very grateful for the connections I've got to meet. I didn't realize the can of worms I was about to get into, that's for sure.
Yes. But you've made you guys in Texas, Dora Maroney and everyone there that works so hard. Man, I'll tell you, you got some events coming up next year. The April 30th, the kickoff there in Amarillo, the Texas Route 66 Festival in June, and then the motor tour with the road crew in October.
Oh, isn't that going to be exciting? Oh man, I'm so looking forward to that. Despite things like state support funding or state programs to beautification projects, sculpture building, all that stuff that we're seeing in Oklahoma or Illinois, Missouri, or even in Arizona a little bit. We weren't able to get that here in Texas, and we tried real hard. And unfortunately, we just didn't get it past the final hurdle in the last congressional session, which took place last year. But despite that, Jim, I can't help but reflect and think, if we had that funding in those projects, I don't think we would be able to handle the amount of, money and the amount of pressure that we would have to face to get those initiatives started before the Centennial. So I'm extremely grateful for the grassroots efforts that Texas has led. And I say Texas, really, it was the Amarillo CVB ladies. There's a whole office full of ladies there that have worked their tail off since, I guess, 2020 to put on a show and say, look, Texas is still here and we're not going to forget about Route 66. And Amarillo CVB has focused on all the communities across the corridor and have really done well in all kinds of aspects. So if you look at the community and the grassroots funding, I think we are eventually, or we might already be, prevailing further than most of the states.
I would agree. Right now, Oklahoma is, man, they've been selling everything on the hog, including the squeal. They've got this down. The rest of the states, Illinois has done fairly well, but most of them have struggled. But it comes down to the people like yourself, Dora, Angela Moreland out in McLean, Texas.
Yes.
It always has been. that is that's the whole reason we're even talking this morning about a highway that doesn't exist, is because of people like Cyrus Avery and the Cutbirths in Oklahoma that poured themselves into this.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been about the people. Still is.
It has been. So we've rallied as many troops as we possibly can, and we are growing in a few numbers in a few ways. Sometimes we'll shrink a little bit, but we'll grow right back.
Yeah.
We're excited. We actually just had a meeting, I guess it was last week, with the CVB ladies, and we are trying to figure out how we can make a showing at that event in Springfield. In the parade float, we're looking at doing some sort of parade float of something. Seeing if some of us from the association could go as well, and put our best foot forward. And then that's that's the Texas hospitality. That's the Texas spirit. Put your best foot forward as much as you can, even if you're people that run your ordinances in your cities and your state counties don't.
Oh, my friend, we could open a whole therapy session there. I have spent so many years here in Western Arizona imitating Don Quixote jousting at windmills. It's the nature things. Now, the event in Springfield, is that the one in November 11th next year?
I have it written down on my calendar. It's that weekend in April, May. I think April 30th to May 3rd, I think is what it is.
Okay, yeah. There's so many events crowding the calendar next year. I got another one for you. I'm sure you're aware of this. The Tin Can Tourists are going to be a meeting in Amarillo in
Yes.
June.
So we are planning an event with them at the Midpoint Cafe and tying it into the festival, because it's going to be
good.
Yes.
Yeah. I had Dan Smilie on the program, Dal Smilie on the program a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about they're going to have two caravans, one from the east and one from the west, and meet in the middle.
Yes,
that's a neat idea.
It's going to be a ball. I mean, I'm excited to see how we can make that work. Me and Gary Gary Daggett have helped unrelated to the association. In our other personal time, me and him have stepped up to help Miss Brenda at the cafe overcome some hurdles that she's been dealing with over there, and she is excited about this group coming in June, and she wants to go big and go home and put the hurdles aside and just enjoy the people.
Brady, you spoke a mouthful there. What we've got to learn to do, and it's not just on Route 66. This works if you want to develop a community or a country. We don't have to wake up in the morning together. We don't even have to go to church together on Sunday. But we've got to live here together, and we got to make this work together. So how do we do that? We put aside our differences, and we do things. And Miss Brenda out at the Midpoint, boy, I tell you what, she just pours herself into that place and the Route 66 community.
Mm-hmm. She does. And towards the ending of this tourist season, she was feeling a little bit, I guess, worn out, you could say. And we had several conversations about the future of the cafe, but I now that she has taken a little bit of a break, she was able to go out a few weeks ago and take a little trip all the way up to Springfield. I think they went to Carlinville, actually, Illinois. But they spent a lot of time in Missouri and Oklahoma, and she got to see and experience Route 66 truly and understand how important she is to the road and her cafe. And she's refreshed, she's fired up and ready to go now for next year.
Michael Wallace, he often referred to Route 66 as a linear community. I take that a step further. I see it as America's longest small town. Mm-hmm. And as a result, it's important for, like Brenda, you get in so wrapped up, you're working constantly in your community, your little neighborhood in this community. You don't realize how important you are. And you've got to get out on the road like you do and like Brenda just did and see that what you're doing in a little place like Adrian, Texas, is making a difference in Springfield, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see it.
And she doesn't, have that great of support in Adrian, only because Adrian is almost 150 people, I think, in that town. Financially, it's not enough to keep the cafe running all year round.
No.
That's why she closes in the winter months. But it takes all of us across the route to keep places like her open, regardless of where we are.
Yeah, it does. And the other thing with this is, like you mentioned, Adrian, and it doesn't matter if it's Tulsa or Adrian. You got people who never learned to play well with others, and you got factions that are deeply rooted. And in small towns, it seems to be magnified.
Yes.
You got people that I've got folks here in Kingman that look at me as a newcomer because I've only been here since 1966. It's just that's the nature of things.
Right.
But the Route 66 community is largely puts aside those kind of things, and they find ways to work together, and that's crucial.
Very much so. Very much is. But anyway, back to the tracks here. That old Tin Can tourist event that we're planning out of the cafe, we're going out for it. It's gonna be a good time. So if anybody out there is heading this direction in the first week of June, and I don't have the exact dates in front of me. I want to say it's the 4th through the 14th, but I could be wrong. That's going to be the week of our 10-day festival in Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle. So come out and see. Events are currently being planned as we speak, and the deadline for those to be submitted to the CVB in Amarillo is February 4th. So we are planning on all aspects. Go big or go home and make it Texas size event.
I'll have all this. I've got this event information up here, and when I publish this today, I'll have it, and I'll also have all this on my website, Jim Hinckley's America. But June 4th, 13th, Texas Route 66 Festival. Cattle drives, parades, car shows, art walks, live music.
Music, all kinds of things, man. There's new things being thrown out there across the way. So soirees, that was something that came up last year. At the Big Texan, they had a big craft brew soiree that was really fun, really, really fun. Maybe had a few too many beers myself, but.
I always take these things too literally. Like I go to a garage sale and I ask the person how much they want for their garage. Live music. You think about that. What would dead music be?
Exactly.
Can't help myself sometimes, Brady. These are all tremendous events, and I recommend if anybody's planning a trip on Route 66 this next year, check the calendar. Add an event, one or two or three or four of these events into your travel plans, or build your travel plans around them. And I guarantee it will not only enhance your memory-making adventure, but it'll transform the way you look at Route 66.
Well, and also, so something that I haven't really told in my personal story, but it is how I got started in all this. It was the festival in 2023. They had a bus tour event going east one day and west the next day. And I bought a ticket to go see what all the hype was about. See what I could go get myself into and see the small towns. And once I did that, oh my, a fire was lit. And I have been involved ever since. And so that's when my journey really started, was after spending $50 a bus ticket to get on a tour bus and spend time with a bunch of lovely people. So if anybody has never really experienced Route 66 experiences or visited small towns, especially in Texas, I highly recommend if you can, come up to the Amarillo area, purchase one of the bus tour tickets or both, because they're both worth the money, and you get meals and other goodies included in that ticket price. So come up, get on those buses, go have fun for a day, and reflect on life back then.
Yeah. I'd love to say we've only talked briefly about how you got involved with 66 in the past, but I find it so fascinating. You've got to be about my age, right about 70, to have a real connection with Route 66 when it was Route 66. So I find it so fascinating to hear people's stories of what drew them into this community. And Dries Bessel's short version there, he saw a picture of the Painted Desert Trading Post, the ruins of the Painted Desert Trading Post. And he just had to see it. And he took a full dress Harley Davidson out there through the desert to this place. But that sparked where he started taking all his vacation time from work, working as a tour guide. He started the Dutch Route 66 Association. He published a guidebook to Route 66 in Dutch. And he even later got a tattoo of the ruins of the Painted Desert Trading Post on his forearm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just amazing what the hook is, what pulls people in.
Oh, and then like in my situation, I've seen the comparison picture of the U Drop In compared to Ramon's Body Shop in the movie Cars.
Yes,
I've always wanted to see it, but I didn't know exactly where it was. And I've been a born and raised Texan, and I had no clue where Shamrock, Texas was. Is that sad?
No, not at all. Brady, we've got people that live here in Kingman, Arizona, that's never been to the Grand Canyon.
Oh boy!
So it's just natural. You don't see it's in your neighborhood, but you guys in Texas, even in the Panhandle, have a pretty big neighborhood. So it's easy.
Compared to where I'm from, I'm originally from Southeast Texas, about an hour north of Houston. Oh. That's Google Maps will tell you 8.5 hour drive. With my bladder, around about 10.
My sister, my older sister, that she lived many years, had a farm down there near the Texas-Louisiana line, down in the little town of Bedias, Texas.
I know where Bedias.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my house is in New Waverly. It is about 15 to 20 miles from Bedias.
Ah, okay.
You've got New Waverly. North of me, about 10 miles, is Huntsville. And north of there, or northwest of there, is Bedias.
Well, I'll be darned. You're the first person I've ever talked to that even knew where that place was at.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yes. Will you and your dad be at Route 66 Road Fest in Tulsa this year?
Not sure yet. We would love to be, for sure, and we were talking about it earlier, actually. I will be graduating from WT in May. And I'm pending a job, which I've got one right now that's doing really well. I work for a logistics company and a fundraising company, and we primarily focus on raising money for high school ag education programs like 4-H and FFA. And we're a corporate sponsor of 8 FFA associations, state associations. New Mexico, Colorado, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and we have some other business in Louisiana and North Carolina as well. And so I've been pretty busy with that job, and it's done really well. They've asked me to stay with them and potentially go to the main office, which is in Fredericksburg, Texas, the Texas wine country area, the hill country, which is where that flood happened this past summer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting the numbers and the I guess the logistics of my future job.
Yes, I gotcha.
And if that happens, it would, I'm not sure how busy my June will be, but we will find out.
Well, this whole working for a living gets in the way of so many things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
especially at my age with the college budget and the college salary, being a little frugal sometimes, but that's okay. I've learned in some situations, especially like what we're going through right now, you just got to live life and not worry about stuff like bills, and they'll get paid eventually.
We get used to eating on a regular basis. We got to keep that going, but the rest of it, you got to find that balance, and you do that pretty well. And this work with these events coming up, your work with the association, the things you've done there in with Angela Moreland in McLean, Texas, these are all greatly appreciated. And they, it's amazing. It's like throwing a rock in a pond. You never know how far those ripples are going to go. But what you're doing, your work on Route 66 there in Texas with these events and helping Brenda, working with Gary, Dora, you're inspiring a whole new generation of people.
I hope so. And I've never thought about that.
You're encouraging them, not just on Route 66, but you're encouraging them to look at Route 66, their community, and look beyond, the job, the career, money, all those things are very important. But you're encouraging them to look different, to see things different, to find a balance. They're pretty damned important. That's the biggest contribution we can make.
It is, and we can't stay in a repetitive cycle. No. We can't go to work every day and that's all we do the rest of our life.
No.
I've seen people go down the tube, the wrong direction, doing things like that, and seeing how they end up later, and it's not something that I ever want to see myself doing. No. I've got to stay active. I've got to keep my mind going and find things that fascinate me or interest me or things that I enjoy doing, and I've always been a man of many interests, or wear many hats, and I've had some interests in my prior life that didn't last very long, but I can assure you this interest is going to last me a long, long time. I hope the rest of my life, and I think it will, unless somebody really, 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 really gets under my skin, which is not. That's not something that happens very often, or I don't think it has ever happened. So,
well, it's going to happen. Trust me. I've got people here not many, but there's been a few in the Route 66 community. I try to work with everybody and try to imitate Switzerland, remain neutral as much as I can. But there's some folks that are, they're like sandpaper in the underwear. They just rub you the wrong way. And, there's nothing you can do about it. But generally, the Route 66 community, and you've got a strong Route 66 community in Texas.
We do. We have a great community across the corridor, and we are always in conversation about something.
Yeah. Your events this year, I'm so impressed. The road crew, of course, Joe and Woody and the boys do our theme song here for Jim Hinckley's America, and I've known those fellas a long time. We had them out here in Kingman doing the 2014 International Route 66 Festival, and we even got them to do a theme song for Kingman. Well, I don't know why the city never used it. The Kings of Kingman, and they're a band. I was so excited to see that you guys did that. That you got them coming out.
We felt it was time for us to go all out and celebrate in a big way. And Gary was a big part of getting that going. He had just so happened to be spending some time with his family in Tennessee and was at a local establishment there where the road crew was playing. Then he stopped on over and got a conversation going with them and got them on the calendar, and we've got them for sure. Our opening night in Shamrock, Texas, that'd be Thursday, October. Oh, Gary, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that October 2nd? I don't have it in front of me.
October 1st, Texas Route 66 Association Motor Tour.
So Thursday night, October 1st in Shamrock. Right now, planning under the neon at the U Drop In. Of course, if the Texas weather is so bipolar, if we happen to have some weather, we're going to move it over to the convention center building.
Yeah.
But let's try not to toot that horn just yet.
No, you gotta have some flexibility. And
Right.
folks, October 1st is it's the way time goes, as we get older. I tell you what, you might want to check and get yourself a room at the Western Motel across the street pretty quick.
Yeah. And the Western Motel is an amazing place, and I've real good friends with the Patel family. They are so kind and so generous to me every time I visit. But also, I've taken some time to experience the other motels down the street, and Shamrock has got a wonderful, wonderful group of people running motels. They're all clean, all very affordable. One of them they're also the Patels, and they have a hot breakfast with a Texas-shaped waffle maker that is worth every penny.
Is Griff's still going strong out in Shamrock?
I think they are. I haven't been in a long time. I think they closed down for a few years and they reopened under new management, I believe.
Yeah. It was Big Vern's for many, many years, and I guess Vern passed, and Griff's Steakhouse there. Yeah, boy.
It's been a little bit since I've eaten there. I've been dining at other institutions, I guess, because the U Drop Inn, when they reopened in February of this year, they have done tremendous with their menu. It is freshly cooked items. They do smoked brisket and pulled pork on Fridays and Saturdays, and pulled pork they'll do all week long. But the brisket, man, they smoke a fantastic Texas brisket.
I tried smoking brisket. I couldn't keep it lit. Anyway, I can't. Sometimes I just can't help myself.
To Texas then.
I
have class.
Texas. I tell you, Shamrock is just such a neat place. That I mentioned the Western Motel because you've got a front row seat to everything that's going on over at the U Drop, and those folks, that family, just absolutely amazing. Their attention to detail and taking care of folks. Mm-hmm. They've sure rolled out the carpet for us time and time again. And a couple of years ago, I kind of got into a snowstorm coming through there, and they took good care of me.
Yes. Now, were you able to stop at the U Drop Cafe on your way through last time you came?
No, I have not. The last couple of trips, every time I've come through, and by the time I get to Shamrock, it's sometime after 7:00 at night. And I'm usually on the road by 5 or 6 in the morning. So,
Gotcha. Well, we got to get you there, right? And they're doing tremendous. The other guy that owned it was great, but he was only able to do so much. And the family that took it in have restaurant experience and customer service experience, and they are setting the rocket ship and going up in space with it. I mean, they're constantly trying new things, and it's all made fresh daily.
Yeah,
and ice cream. Can't forget about the good ice cream.
Ice cream, and good pie. I last time I came through, we stopped out there and had some good pie with Brenda. It's always a great stop for that.
Yes.
Yeah, in Texas, I know everybody gets in a hurry, but my gosh, there's some neat things happening.
We do.
Speaking of passionate people in Texas, you can't beat the Schaefers out there in Jericho, Texas.
No, you can't, and they're planning a lot of big events too for next year. Last time I talked to her, they are currently, they've been growing vegetables out there for a few years now, and I think they're taking a step back from the vegetable portion. That was just too much going on. They weren't able to take care of some things they wanted to do, and they also had some, I guess, issues this past year with bugs and things like that. So they're just going to take a break on vegetables, and they're going to start growing flowers out there and do a little flower program. People can come pick their fresh flowers, and that's going to give them more time to go out and experience things on the road. And so they're all excited. They're planning more events at Jericho now. They've got a brand new website going up and about. if it hasn't already. She's also starting a podcast, Jim, and me and her are going to be talking sometime after the holidays. I'm going to be her first guest on there.
Good. Well, if I can help with anything, you just, I always tell people if I can help, give me a holler. The worst that happens is I'm going to laugh and say, well, that ain't happening.
Well, and I've got something that I'll pick your brain with shortly too. Helping another group of people here in Texas that have been part of the association for a little bit now, a newer group of people. Back to our motor tour real quick. So
yes,
we are, like I said, going big, going all out, and we have been talking with sponsors and getting all the sponsors lined up to help us put this on. So, we offer a great big advertising package it's about $300 for a business, and we print them on all the posters, all the postcards. We put them in the Oklahoma trip guide. Just great advertising opportunity for them, and it's done really well the past few years. So we're getting all that ready now for this upcoming event, and we're getting all the sponsor stuff finalized by the end of the year. Now, fast forward to a few months ago, we had a member join us, and it was you may have heard of it, the Go Route City 6 app.
Yes,
Okay, so Go Route City 6 is being spearheaded by a man here in Amarillo, or in the Amarillo area, who is the general manager of News Channel 10. And we are proud to announce, after a meeting last week with them, they're going to be our largest sponsor, a corporate sponsor, of over $4,000 in advertising help and need.
Oh, so excellent. Listen, hey, Gary just joined us.
Oh, how you guys doing this morning?
Mr. Gary, God bless. How are you? How are things on the railroad?
Oh, busy. This is our peak season for a couple more days.
Yes. God bless. Glad you could join us this morning. Your ears must have been burned because we sure been talking about you folks in Texas.
Jim, you remember me saying about my backup plan?
Yes.
Well, surprise. Here's the backup plan.
Gary, man, you guys, between Nolan and his work and school and doing the association, and you keep some pretty intense hours, and you and your wife, and gosh, what you guys are doing in Texas, yes, it's pretty damned inspirational.
Thank you, Jim. We do our best with the time we got, that's for sure.
Well, you're sure making hay while the sun shines, that's for sure.
We try. We're definitely trying to go big for next year for the Centennial. So,
well, it looks like you've got 3 tremendous events lined up already: April 30th, June 4th, and October 1st.
Oh yeah, we're, like I said, we try to do everything bigger in Texas. So
that's the story I've been hearing.
Well, and in between all those events, we're trying some preservation efforts as well, in McLean and Allen Reed. We're still working on the Allen Reed Texaco station.
We'll hope we have that done by the spring.
Yep, in the spring to get that going. We've also talked about helping out with some stuff in McLean, billboards, getting the billboard put up in there in McLean. And
was there any progress? Delbert, last time I talked to Delbert True a few years ago, he was wanting to get some recognition for the old POW camp there in McLean. Did that ever come together? Or?
No, we're still working on that. We're trying to get at least, some kind of interpretive plaques and stuff put out there.
Yeah.
There's not much left of that site out there. It's just the site. So
yeah.
But yeah, we're hoping it might not be during the Centennial, but we're working on getting some interpretive plaques put out there.
There is a Texas historical marker out there on the corner of the former property, but that it's not in a very easy access location either. It's on this little hill. Cars can't easily pull off onto that hill.
Yeah.
So
it makes it a challenge.
It does.
Yeah.
Like Gary said, we've been talking about it, figuring out how to take care of that.
McLean always has a special spot for me. Just before it was bypassed, my pa got it in his head that we needed a windmill, and we drove back there to McLean, and there was an old fella that had windmills and windmill parts. This is back, I don't know, like 75, 76.
Oh, wow.
And God bless, he had acres and acres of windmill stuff there. We ended up getting a windmill. And of course, the old Brazier factory, that the unofficial promotion was Texas was the uplift capital of Texas, but another story.
You know, and speaking of the uplift Brazier factory, I mean, Devil's Rope Museum is also planning a pretty big barbed wire show where we're trying to plan our annual barbed wire show, which is April 15th and 16th. And I'll send you some information on that, Jim.
Yes, please.
But we're going to try and go all out because it's also going to be a big year for us, I believe. It's an anniversary year. And before that, the association's been talking. We're going to go help them kind of do some spring cleaning, I guess you would say, in the Route 66 Association exhibit room, and maybe update some images and
we're gonna do some updating for the Centennial there in McLean.
One of the most amazing things about, if for people who aren't familiar with the Devil's Rope Museum, Route 66 Museum in McLean, one of the most amazing things about this is it's a museum dedicated to barbed wire, and it's interesting. You would think that would be a 4-minute museum, but I guarantee you'll get lost in there for hours.
It is.
Good.
I took 2 or 3 of my college friends over to the museum a few weeks back, and it was after the season where they had closed, and I was working on a project for one of my classes, and I wanted to interview Delbert about and do a little featured magazine story for him, or an article. And anyway, I took my friends over there, and good grief, they were just blown away by Delbert's stories and the museum and the all the aspects of it. It was incredible to see other people show interest in it.
Delbert, I tell you, that fella is amazing. And I sat down there in the park with him, and we talked for quite some time. Oh, gosh, 10 years ago or so. I was going to visit for about 15, 20 minutes. The next thing I knew, it was about 4 hours later. We'd been chewing the fat down there. And how old is Delbert now? I think he's got an autographed copy of the Bible.
Is it 93, Brady?
Yes, 93. So I don't know if you saw I was able to get the article published by Ag Daily News, and I would like to see it published by Root Magazine, and I've sent 2 emails. I just haven't heard from anybody over there. I think it would be a great printed publication if they were interested, but they haven't responded. But anyway, in the opening line of this article here, he goes, "I would like to say to begin with that you are learning about a 92-year-old undiagnosed attention deficit hyperactivity redneck rancher with a sense of humor, and well, we can go from there."
He used to write some pretty good articles himself.
Yes.
He quite a fellow there out there, Jericho.
I got to tell you, Jim, he's impressive. Not only his wealth of knowledge, how tough he is for how old he is. That man, we did the cleanup at the Allen Reed station last year, and there was a bunch of just barbed wire laying around that had to be taken care of. Well, it took 3 guys just to move it out of the way so we could finish cleaning up. Well, about 15 minutes later, everybody's back to cleaning. We turn around, and Delbert's just about got that whole thing of barbed wire rolled up by himself. It's like,
I'm over there cutting some tree limbs down, and
we were all impressed. We're like, holy cow, if I could be that tough at 90 years old.
Unfortunately, he was outdoing me when it was throwing the tree limbs into the back of the trailer. He was outdoing me on that stuff.
I meet people like that sometimes, and God bless. I don't know whether to be inspired or depressed.
Exactly.
And I've met a few. My wife's family is. She has two kinds of people in her family: the people who don't make it to 55 or 60, and the rest of them you can't kill. Don't try. When they're ready to die, they will. They just keep going.
That's my wife. I joke with her. The women in her family have cockroach in their genes.
Yes, I'm not that. That's kind of a backhanded compliment, ain't it?
They just don't die,
No. Hey, Brady, we didn't get much chance, but you just got back from a little bit of an adventure that's, it was a little bit off Route 66.
I guess you could say a little bit, wasn't it? Yes, I took a 3-week, just about 3-week study abroad adventure to South Africa in the Western Cape portion of the country. And boy, that was an experience, life-changing, experiences that will open your mind to a whole nother world and appreciate life better. And, but most importantly, you come back and take away things that will make you a better person.
Amen.
And
I think it was Mark Twain, to paraphrase. I don't have the exact words, but he said the greatest cure for ignorance is travel.
amen.
Amen to that.
On Route 66 or to Africa.
Yes. Yes. And we, we had a lot of fun and we were able to do some touristy stuff, but most importantly, we left an impact and made an impression on the people and took care of the people. Some of the stuff we did, well, first of all, this was the longest flight I have ever taken in my life, about 17 and a half hours down to Cape Town from New York City. And it's, of course, a 3-hour flight to New York City. So overall, it was pushing 24 hours of flying nonstop. By the time you take the hour flight to Amarillo, to Dallas to New York City, and then over to Cape Town, South Africa. Long flight. But we got there and we traveled about an hour and a half to the northeast of the state area to the country, like the rural area called the city of Stellenbosch. It's a Dutch area. And this is in the middle of the mountain region. And the mountain region is also their farming and agricultural area. They are currently the leading producer in citrus production. Lemons, limes, grapefruits, all the citrus, but mostly lemons and limes. And then they're the second country producing wine currently out of this region. Fascinating stuff.
We are going to have to be talking. You and I are going to sit down and talk about that because I am very curious about. I had a chance, an invitation to go to Africa on a project a couple of years ago, but I had to cancel that, and so I really want to hear more about this.
Yeah, what part of Africa were you supposed to go to?
Kenya.
Well, that's next on my list. If I can go, maybe we should go together.
Well, stranger things have happened. If I can keep going like Delbert there, we'll be all set. How are things? Vega, Texas, too, is coming right along, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're becoming one of our biggest Route 66 towns and supporters. A lot going on there. We're gonna be working on with the city of Vega to do some sprucing up at the Magnolia station there. So hopefully by tourist season next year for the Centennial, we'll have our three oldest gas stations along the Panhandle restored and ready for visitors.
That Magnolia station is extraordinary. Of course, the Milburn Price Museum there.
Oh yeah, that's always growing.
That's just a spit and a jump off Route 66, but that's well worth that little short detour.
Yes.
Well, and I mean, it was originally on an original alignment too.
Yeah.
Professor Stoltz suggested the Mesquite Canyon Steakhouse in Shamrock.
It is good. It is just north of Shamrock going towards Wheeler, Texas, and it is a very, very good steakhouse.
Yes. Just off
I personally like Red River a little bit better, but that's my opinion.
Red River is pretty good. That's one of the things that makes Angela Moreland's Cactus Inn Motel in McLean so nice because you're within spitting distance of the Red River Steakhouse.
Yes, and she might soon be spitting distance from a Travel America truck station.
I've heard they were thinking of building one out there.
Well, it's supposed to be right across the road from them two.
They've purchased the land, so
yep, and it's coming. They say, and when they don't know, but they have confirmation. TA is coming.
Oh, did they? She still got her tap room downtown.
She still has the tap room. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So when that TA comes, she's got a gold mine. I feel like.
I agree, and McLean needs that boost. Because they've been.
They really do.
They've been flirting with ghost town status for a long time.
I don't know about flirting, maybe almost in bed with it, but yeah.
Yeah, they need that boost. They really, really need that boost.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Your association for your website really looks great. It's rt66oftexas.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it needs. I need to update it. I was actually going to do that this weekend, but I think life had other plans on me.
Life has a tendency to do that, but you've got your priorities right, Brady. Your family first. You got your priorities in order.
Sleep comes second, that's for sure.
Well, and the work thing, like we said, you can either live to work or work to live. Mm-hmm. That's the two options.
Amen.
You've got that balance going too. Now we just gotta talk to Gary a little bit. How long before the big retirement, Gary?
Oh, shoot. I just turned 50, so I got another 10 years.
You sound like a man waiting for parole.
Oh man, well, I started when I was 20 with the railroad, so I've been there quite a long time. I'm looking forward to retirement.
Now you transferred out to Texas, didn't you?
Yeah. I started out in California back in the 90s, and then with the railroad, our seniority goes all over the country. So I had an opportunity about 14 years ago to come to Amarillo and check it out. And of course, I went from one end of 66 to being right in the middle, so it was kind of a no-brainer. 66 was the draw for me.
You guys, I really want to thank you and Gary, you and your wife, and Brady. I want to thank you both because a lot of times your work not only goes unnoticed, but it makes you a lightning rod. And, but you're appreciated, and I tell you, you both do just absolutely wonderful pinata impersonations. And you do it with a smile.
Yes, we do, because we love Route 66. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's the old beat me. It feels good when you quit.
Yeah.
But God bless, guys. Thank you both for taking time today to do this. And
thank you for letting us talk about Texas, Jim.
Oh, I love it. I will get this published today with all the dates here for your festivals, link to your website. And I'll get these up on my website. And anything I can do to help promote this, to send it along, and I'll try to get it in circulation. Sure. We'll try to get this thing going.
We appreciate that, Jim. We appreciate all you do too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it wasn't for you, most of this stuff wouldn't have near the attention. So
it's a team effort. I've never wanted this to be a Jim show. It's a team effort, and that's the only way this stuff works. It's got to be a team effort. And if they don't learn to play well with others, well, you just wait till a dark night, catch them in the crosswalk,
or catch them in the middle of Route 66. Maybe, I don't know.
We got one more crotchety fellow we should ask about. How's old Croc doing? I know he had surgery recently, and
he's bouncing back pretty good. He seems to be doing all right.
Yeah. Speaking of cantankerous, yeah. I think if you look in the dictionary under cantankerous, you'll find his picture.
I'm not going to look.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Jim. Thank you.
Have you, either one of you, been up to Pioneer Village in Mendon, Nebraska?
I have not, but I have heard
We have
about it.
not.
Next week, I've been trying for almost a year to get these folks on board, and we've been going back and forth. The next week, I got the director from Pioneer Village to join me.
Oh, that's
And
great.
because I've been passionate about US 6, the forgotten cousin of Route
Number
66.
66.
And US 6 is an odd, just strange highway, but fascinating stuff. This Pioneer Village, I've got childhood memories of this, but this is probably one of the most amazing and most overlooked museums in the country. And
Wow.
so he picked it up in Pontiac, Illinois, along Route 66 back in the 50s, the oldest steam powered carousel in the world from I think the
Really?
1850s up
Oh,
there.
wow. That's amazing.
But you name it, the weirdest collection, a whole wall of spark plugs, different kind of spark plugs,
Oh my!
cameras, cars, aircraft engines, outboard motors, uh,
So,
sod
something for
houses.
everybody.
Oh God! So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun
Yeah,
next
I'll
week.
make sure I tune in.
Gary, thank you, and Brady. I sure hope
Thank you, Jim.
things work out for you and your family.
We appreciate the prayers, Jim. Truly do,
You bet.
and I want to talk to you later about the Go 66 app. The gentleman is looking for some people to maybe do some quick little interviews and stories and stuff like that. It can all be done via the computer and Zoom, and I might get you and him to talk at some point, and
Yeah.
he might need to be a guest on a show to promote
Sure.
the app a little bit better than I can. But
Let's do it. Like I say, this is a team effort. The more we can build a network of cooperative partnerships, the better we're all going to be.
This is a initiative that is going to pioneer and help keep things rolling a whole lot better, for sure.
Well, this is so important. And Marian Pavel, when he kicked off the navigation app, started a new era on Route 66 with, people get upset about some of the damnedest things. When Larry Klontz was out there, the economic development director in Shamrock, Texas,
Yes.
and we had the 2014 festival here in Kingman. We had people from all over. All the associations were here. The European associations, Kaiser. We had a representative from Tesla here talking about building an EV network, charging. Larry jumped on that, and he was one of the first along Route 66 to put in charging stations there at the U job.
Yeah, the first
And
Tesla
boy,
station
I'll
on
tell you
56.
what, if I was a rope salesman, I could have made money. People wanted to hang him for that kind of sacrilege. But
Oh my!
but things have, we have to
Yeah,
find,
look at it now. I mean,
we have to find ways to evolve, keep the core, but realize that Route 66 from its inception has always been about evolution. So adapting new technology like apps, that's going to be the future. We got to do it.
I believe this Go 66 app's really going to change the game for travelers. It's not Marion's app. It's not trying to keep you on the road. It's more information while you're
Yeah,
traveling the road. So it's a complement to the navigation apps.
It's
sure.
a amazing compliment. I mean,
Yeah.
I've used it the past few weeks with Marion's app, and it is amazing what it's doing.
Well, you know what?
Up to date weather and events while you're traveling. I mean, it's totally different, but it's going to be a great compliment.
We've got several great things coming down on this, but it's interesting too, the blend of past and present. Nothing highlights that more than the popularity of like Marion's app and the Easy Guide from Jerry McClanahan.
Well, exactly.
Two
That's the
totally
Bible
different
right there.
things. They work hand in glove, though.
Yes.
And that's really, really important.
And the more tools we can give the travelers, the better off they are. So,
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's all good for 66.
Gentlemen, I hope you have a great weekend. Gary, get some
Yes.
rest.
Oh,
And
I will. And you all have a Merry Christmas too this week.
yes, whatever holiday we're celebrating, be it
Yes.
Christmas or anything else, the point of the story is take time out to thank what we're blessed with and be a little bit grateful and celebrate. And let's get this new year going.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. You have a great day.
Take care, my friends.
Take care, y'all.
Gary, Brady, thank you. And everybody who joined us this morning, thank you. Brady, thank you for this information on the app. I'll get this going. And let's talk more about this stuff.
Yep, I will get you maybe a group text later with the general manager of the app and News Channel 10 in Amarillo later, if that works.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Guys, that was great. And next week, we're off to Nebraska next week. You're going to like this. This was exciting this morning, wasn't it? Is anybody else as excited as I am about a road trip to Texas this year? Well, I'll have to add a few of these events to the list. And join us next week. Invite your friends because this is a shared adventure. Until we meet again, my friends, vaya con Dios.
Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a 2-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.